Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of VRChat World Exploration, a series dedicated to virtual worlds and their impact on their players and creators. Today, we have Olympia by DrMorro. I actually knew the name this time. Um, this is a world that I kind of just saw. DrMorro has several worlds that I am looking to cover in the series, and this is one I actually have not really seen much of besides this initial small area. Apparently, this world is rather large and extravagant, which, yeah, is pretty true to the rest of this creator's worlds. This creator is actually a part of VRChat's Russian community, which is really cool. Of course, I don't speak Russian. I don't hang around in Russian spaces, so of course I don't know a lot, but still, I think that's pretty neat. Um, but yeah, so I guess let's get this show on the road because I don't want to be too boring here. All right. Yeah, laugh it up. Okay, so are these? Okay. But here we are. I like this one. Let me just get that enabled because it was just in a very crowded instance before coming here. Let's head all the way out here. So this is considered the main branch of the world. There is a nighttime equivalent, but I decided to just stay in this one. But as you can see, this world is huge, and apparently pretty much everything you see can be traveled to. It's that, see that mountain, you can climb it, but there's something, in my opinion, far more interesting. Oh, I love, like, the transparent cloud layers. Those look so nice. And then the volumetrics. Now, it seems like these little signs are interactive buttons, so we have a mirror. Okay, I don't know. Well, we'll just continue going, I guess. I think I'm definitely just gonna do like a picture that's just this for the thumbnail. These look, gosh, like a weird fusion of, oh no, vaguely Viking style while also having hints of like Pacific Island, which I think is really cool. Do you see we're on some sort of coastal settlement? There's a boat out there. Of course, I won't explore every single nook and cranny of here. I don't think that's really A, feasible, or B, frankly, appealing to me. Um, but I'll do my best to explore everything. Yeah, I think my height is set to a little small, so let me just... Yeah, I'm a bit smaller than usual, even. There you go. Make myself like 10 centimeters taller. That should... I like the water a lot. There's actually... Aw, there's not really like an underwater shader effect, at least not for this pool. I guess that makes it easier because it's just an animated texture, right? Gosh, I got my work cut out for me, eh? Oh, I love those large planets in the distance. Also, is this like a multi-star system? Because that looks like that is a star. Maybe a moon? It's very... It weirdly feels kind of Atlantis-like. It's giving Atlantis. Very much so. Let's investigate this monolith statue thing. Gosh. I really needed to do something like this. What does this do? It's like a glowing gem. Seems like it's something you can interact with. I don't think we can climb that spire. Seems like it's kind of gated off. It's like there's some sort of power here. I do have to say, this makes for a lot of interesting, for a very interesting sampler for the series so far, huh? I think we're, what, 7, 8 episodes in? We've explored non-Euclidean dreamscapes. Kludges of internet culture. Just a normal ass space that could exist in real life. And now we have a meticulously crafted fantasy dreamscape. Gosh, I can practically smell the salt water. That looks like that's fully explorable. That building also up there, that like, it's kind of like the Parthenon? I'll have to get closer. There's Greek influences, Nordic influences, and some weirdly like Pacific Islander influences here in this world, which I think are just put together in a way that feels natural, because it's not meant to be directly analogous to something that exists in the real world. It really is true fantasy. Isn't it? I think that's what fantasy is. Huh. Just don't get me started on Western Tolkien inspired fantasy. I will not shut up. That's going to be the last place I go to. That's very Anor Londo from Dark Souls. I feel like I'm going to meet, fucking, what's her name? If I go up there, I'm going to meet, is it Gwendolyn or Guinevere? We started right down there. Yeah. We're actually only 10 minutes in, but yeah. There's a surprising amount of forced perspective going on in this world. I am really impressed, because when you're standing there, that building looks significantly larger than what it does when you're actually at an equal elevation to it. That is a brilliant use of perspective. Actually, now that I look at it, it's also very Emerald City, which I guess is in part what Anor Londo is inspired by, but still. God, this goes really high up. Sorry for the spinning. I think the motion sickness warning kind of comes with me walking around a VR game, but oh, wow. So you can kind of separate this map into, I would say, like 3 main areas. So we have this first area, the wood, and then that city area, maybe even 4, because you could separate that from the city. It's very, it is very similar to DrMorro's map, Organism, which very much will be a world I cover in the not so distant future. Now we gotta go back down. Oh god. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. But that's what's that? I definitely want to save the spire and the city for last, so let's go to the wood. Kind of broken bridge, eh? Hey, it didn't get wet. Oh, are these like turtles? That's what they look like. That's a starfish. Huh. These structures are so intricate. It's so beautiful. Exploring this world feels like kind of has a similar feeling to exploring the world of Shadow of the Colossus. Both the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 4 remaster really do feel like this. These giant, ancient feeling structures, intricate and beautiful, but quiet. Almost too quiet. That is such a striking rock formation. Kind of makes me wonder if I could go up to it, because it looks like there's something up there. Well, this part of the floor looks walkable. Oh. Okay. Something Jesus Christ of Nazareth. That is really weird seeing the seabed like below me like that. That gave me a weird like vertigo like effect in my like stomach. Ugh. All right then. No, I think you're meant to be able to come here. Because there's like light fixtures, like it's trying to guide you up. Yeah, this world definitely it uses perspective. Because when you're actually like up close and personal with a lot of the geometry, it looks a lot more jagged than it does from far away. So my frame rate is dropping here. And the skybox effects are starting to fall apart a tad. But We started out all the way over there. What a sense of scale. And in terms of real size, this world is no bigger than a very small section of maybe 5x5 city blocks. Oh. Oh my gosh. And there's a structure there. Huh. There's a structure over here on that mountain. I'm gonna go there for sure. Okay, I don't know if I should just walk or just teleport. I'm gonna walk across the water. There's another small island over here as well, so I want to explore that, and then we'll head back to land. That oh my god, that really is giving Dark Souls. That's a very Dark Souls 1 type big grand structure. Even Elden Ring. Elden Ring has a shot that is just like that in the what is it, the Sofria River? The river basin? The underground section? This world has very similar vibes to that whole section of Elden Ring, honestly. It's that type of fantasy. No, I don't want to say that without knowing if that's true or not. It feels like that it's a new type of high fantasy. But yeah. And it also vaguely feels like too that this is built by a spacefaring civilization. But like we don't have any signs of spacefaring. It's all, normal naval ports of call, and yeah, got a bunch of bird cages and seagulls strewn about. Let's head back and finish exploring the wood, eh? We will head to that large mountain. It's also like a weird ravine in there, which I heard might have actually been a part of an update, so if I had some sort of quick play space adjust, I would just teleport myself over there and check. But I don't. Because I think that takes some of the fun away. The fun part of actually exploring the world, and, not the, fun part of being on your feet a whole bunch, standing still, which is, in my opinion, far more tiresome and hard on my feet than than actually walking. All right. How wonderful. How strange it is to be anything at all. Oh, come on. That was too cheesy even for my standards. I felt my controller tingle like there was an interactable. Might just be feeling things. It's late. It's very late. Kids, don't get no sleep and then get on VRChat and put yourself in a dream world where nothing makes sense and you feel like a little kid. Huh. Well, what I will say is that this world is very similar to Organism, and it's just beauty and presentation, but it's very different. The sterile, cold, post-Soviet setting of organism. It's very different from this. I love it. I don't even know if I would call organisms sterile, because it feels dirty. Unsafe, even. Unsanitary, I suppose. This one feels clean and safe. Oh my god. Hello. You know, every time I think that this world could get more... Oh, okay. Well, spoke too soon. Up here for one last view. He started all the way down there, ventured all the way over there. Now we're back here. Suppose we can get one last mirror look. Just look at just how small I am compared to everything. Isn't that wonderful? Tracking's all fucked up. I don't want that on because that's going to kill my performance. Okay. Well, I guess that now raises the question, how to get down. I am gonna take the way from the spawn over there. Yeah, this structure's a lot smaller than how it looks when you see it. Oh god. That's fine, whatever. That is honestly how I can describe this world in general. Everything feels so much just bigger than it actually is. It just has such a beautiful, like, this grand sense of scale. It reminds me of a lot of video games. A lot of other video games, like fantasy games, like Zelda Breath of the Wild has, I mean, the immediate, parallel is obviously the, oh my gosh, the fish people, the Zora. Their city has some similar concepts and design motifs. And it has a good use of perspective. You can just take a sit. Day in, day out, I think about the other worlds irrelevant to mine. And how many other names they've had in languages we can't identify. If I said the name of the band out loud, I'd get demonetized. And psychedelic prawn crumpets there. What a nice, yeah. Very, very, very true. This does get the mind running, doesn't it? As I think any world with this concept or feeling should. I am hoping for absolutely less than an hour of total, like, Rawls recorded for this, but we are rapidly departing that station. I think I can do it. I think I can manage less than an hour. But yeah. I'm probably gonna have a lower microphone in this video. I am talking loud as fuck, to be fair. And this world deserves some quiet. I think a lot of the worlds I've explored recently deserve quiet. I just talk a lot, that's all. I like to talk. Especially when I see things I like. That spire Reminds me so much of a section of the Sagrada Familia in Spain. I wonder if that was one of the influences for some of the structures, because that now that I think about it, that does look like something you'd see on the Sagrada Familia. I can't believe they actually have pretty much all but finished that building. Huh. Looks like a door, but it's not. I'm guessing the implication is that it is like technically a door, but it's just not usable yet, I guess. Or maybe it won't ever be usable and it's just an implied piece of the world. When was this last updated? A long time ago. Five years ago. How wonderful. And how bitter. I do believe there is actually a special updated version, which we can go check right now. Which is Olympia Nights. Which was actually... It's actually been updated pretty recently. But it still says 1.0. And the most recent upload, it's been very recent. But Organism is a world that's actually relatively popular as far as VRChat worlds go, which is why I'm excited to cover it. But yeah, I wanted to give airtime to this one because I did see that this one was a bit older than that and really enjoyed its vibe. I mean, to be honest, sometimes that's what I do. I just look for VRChat worlds that maybe are a little less visited from well-known creators. A thing I definitely want to go back and do is after looking at the Black Cat by Spooky Ghost Boo, and actually using one of her guides to assist me in creating some of my own worlds. I want to go and look at some of her less well-known worlds to kind of get an idea of style, of feel, because even a tutorial sample that they did has such a sense of style, such a specific idea of space and what's appealing in a space. I think that's interesting. So I definitely want to cover some lesser known worlds of popular creators. And DrMorro is not the most popular, but Organism as a world is, and so, yeah. But for its fantasy and for its loneliness, it doesn't feel isolated or scary. Like some empty worlds can feel. Maybe some people are watching this and disagreeing heavily with my assessment that this doesn't feel weirdly lonely and scary. And I can understand that. But some find comfort in isolation. Some find incredible discomfort. It's an amphitheater. I'm somewhere in the middle. This is different than complete isolation because you know that this is a place that has been touched. You know, say if this was a real space, this place has been molded by so many hands. and turned into a welcoming feeling space. Oh, it's this way. Thought that plant was like something else. Okay. This feels very Mediterranean. Okay. Yeah, these streets feel a little low quality, but not in a bad way. I want to go check the amphitheater close up. I didn't even notice this. It's actually quite small for one. Very small one, even. Huh. And there's no other thing. UVs on those orbs are weird. Let's head back up. I want to see what this Parthenon-type building is. Oh gosh, it's like a palace. With 2 thrones. One for a king and one for a queen. Maybe 2 kings, 2 queens, who knows? Maybe they don't have gendered hierarchy. They probably do. Clam. Beautiful. Of course, the reflections aren't real time, but now it's giving a little bit of Taj Mahal. Well, that's been the city. I think it's time we explore this Sagrada Familia and Orlando. Does this path lead? Behold, the backside of water! This is the cave that was being talked about in the revision notes. I don't know if me taking that deep breath got caught on the mic or not. Holy. When I made the comment that, like, oh, it feels like the Sofrio River Basin. I was not expecting to find a place that actually feels like it. Yeah, this kind of feels like an exhibit at, like, a science museum or something. Same tiling that's used in the palace. What's this? Huh. Perhaps like a teleporter of some kind. It like repulses me away when I try to approach it, so who knows? Maybe there's something that needs to be done? Doesn't seem like the type of world to have that, but yeah. One last look. Alright. Let's get on to what everyone's been waiting for. Well, at least what I've been waiting for. And this will be the last major area of our exploration before we check out what's in that mountain range. And be finished for now. I can't quite tell what this world's trying to be. A social world? Feels a little too big for it. A world that's meant to make you awestruck? Maybe. And here we are. The lull in the music, and the world music was very well timed. I'm assuming the world wants us to take this path up. Gosh, to think that we're really all the way back there, and now we're up here. Kind of hurts to look up like that with the big VR brick on your head. There's gotta be something there. And this is before the LOD changes to VRChat, so that's why it keeps like warping out of resistance or existence, not resistance. Me too. Oh, there's something in here. How do I get down there? I guess the idea is it's like a diving board. Well. Oh. What? Huh. Okay, let's do this again. Okay. So that's it for this world. Unfortunately, the big structure on that mountain there is a part of the skybox. It's not accessible, but this world has been incredible. There's one thing I can say about this world, and that is, it's fantasy. Referring to its possessive, it possesses fantasy. Through its many real-world influences, its calm nature, it is a world that I feel acts as a fantastical getaway. And I like that a lot. I really want to explore more worlds like that in the future. And honestly, I really do want to stay here a while. I might bring some friends here, depending. depending on if they're the types that want to deal with this sort of thing. But in terms of our time together, that is it for today. Goodbye, and I hope to see you next time.